What's going on, everybody? It's me, Brandon, back again with another video, and I gotta say, I really miss playing PlayStation. Now, I have been mostly an Xbox PC guy and a Nintendo Switch guy for quite a while now, but before all of that, I was a almost die-hard PlayStation fan. Now, everything ebbs and flows, and I wouldn't consider myself a fanboy. It's just every now and then during certain generations, I do tend to sway, towards Xbox, or I sway towards PlayStation. But last generation, about halfway through, I decided I'm going to make a digital library. I decided with my Xbox One S that I was going to purchase only digital games, and I built up this massive library. And I made a video on this very thing years ago, and I talked about how building up a digital library and going all digital was amazing. And I dropped doing physical collecting and went all in on Xbox. Now, when I started that generation, I was a PlayStation gamer to a T. I loved the PlayStation 3. I love the PlayStation 2. The original PlayStation's amazing. But going into the PS4 era, it was like huge. And I could not wait. I was there midnight launch getting my PS4. And it was so exciting. And I remember just halfway through, I was like, man, I miss Xbox. So I went ahead, I purchased an Xbox One, the original VCR, and I fell in love with a lot of those games that they had on there at the time. Sunset Overdrive was a game that I needed to play. It was so cool. The Rare Replay was incredible. There was a lot of good Xbox One exclusives, especially early on last generation, where you had Killer Instinct. Like I said, Sunset Overdrive, Titanfall 1 was a huge exclusive that really was pulling me into that direction, looking at the Xbox like, man, this game looks perfect. It looks like a Brandon game, and it is exactly that. And over the course of last generation, like I said, I started going full digital. I built this expansive, massive library for my Xbox, and I fell in love with that system. The Xbox One, to many, is a failure or just not a great system compared to the 360, of course. But how are you going to beat the 360 after that generation was really just a seminal golden age of video games? Even the PS3 was considered, the underdog or the lesser system, but man, the PS3 cooked just as much as the Xbox 360 did with its killer apps and its awesome exclusives. I'll never forget 2013 playing BioShock Infinite, a multi-platform game, and then a month later we got The Last of Us for the very first time. And that back and forth of, wow, I'm playing a really amazing BioShock game, and then I'm playing this amazing PlayStation exclusive, was something very special. And I fell in love with Uncharted, and as I've talked about loosely, I really would like to make a video that the PS3 is the system that had me head over heels for video games. When I was getting into my mid to late teenage years, I was going all in on video game journalism. I was starting to look at everything I already played. More critically, I was looking at developer names, the actors who would play these characters, and PlayStation really did a lot for me in terms of who I am today. I credit a lot of the PS3 era, especially, to why I am so in love with talking about video games and the video game industry. That whole era was something else, and being aware of journalists and being aware of, company execs and all this other stuff, to this day, I credit that generation and the PlayStation 3 to really making something super special. So, getting back to PlayStation, the PlayStation 4 is an awesome system. I had one from launch till, I believe, right before the PS5, I think. I did get rid of my PS4 somewhat earlier. I never adopted a Pro model for the PlayStation 4. Playing Spider-Man was incredible. That was like a dream come true. And then I remember selling it and just riding out on my Xbox, my Xbox One series, or my Xbox One X for a while. And then the new generation came along and I got a PS5 immediately because PlayStation just feels like a necessary brand, especially as a PC gamer now. The Xbox doesn't seem so essential. I'm kind of juggling with two systems right now that I just don't know what to do. Like, I don't know if I really need an Xbox Series X, but I think the Xbox Series S, oddly enough, is more important for me just to stay in that ecosystem. But lately, I've been playing my PlayStation 5, and I miss playing PlayStation. I was saying this to my friend Matt, who, if you've been on this channel for a while, he's a somewhat usual that regular that does get mentioned quite a bit. And I was talking to him, I'm like, man, I miss PlayStation, and I just miss playing these games. And while some of these games are on PC, and I did wait a little bit, like Ragnarok is finally coming out for PC, and I played God of War 2018, back when it was out on PS4, and Horizon I have on PC, and I still need to play that, but I miss just playing those games, the exclusives. These were huge deals, and I just miss that exclusive experience. So if you do follow me on Instagram, which is WenzReviewz, it's my video game Instagram, I did post 4 of my favorite controllers. Now, this is the Victrix Pro BFG. This is fully moddable. You can swap out these sides. You can get a fight pad on this. They're hair triggers, different buttons on the back. And this was the reason why I started picking up my PlayStation 5 again. So I have said it a couple times, maybe even in my unboxing on my YouTube channel or my Instagram channel of the PS5 when I first got it. This is a hot take, I am not a fan of the DualSense. I find this controller really big, it's really bulky. I don't know. The buttons feel a little too mushy for me. I'm not crazy about the weird switch triggers. The battery life isn't too hot, but I picked this up because you can do asymmetrical layout. And never did I need this for a PlayStation system until now. I don't know why. Maybe I'm not the only one who feels this way, but the DualSense is very strange. And I will sacrifice haptics and vibration for a controller that I can play hours on my PlayStation 5 and not worry about it. So certain games, like when I do get Astrobot, I will play this because the haptics are so important in that game. But right now, I finally am diving into The Last of Us Part 2. Now I know this game got leaked years ago in 2020, and with those leaks, I decided I'm not going to play this game. I'm not going to play it right now. I may not even ever play this title. And the leaks ruined a lot of my anticipation for that game. And I fed into the leaks, and I was going through all of that stuff, and I'm like, man, I can't believe they would do these character choices for certain things and the actions throughout The Last of Us, especially after the first game. And all these years later, I purchased the game, I believe 2 falls ago, really cheap, and then they made the upgrade, and I bought the upgrade at the start of this year for like $10 or whatever, and I decided, all right, sometime this year I'm going to play it. And then the TV show came out, and the Last of Us TV show is wonderful. I loved the television show, and I know season 2 is starting next year, and I'm not going to be following the TV show to then play the game. That's not how we work here. I gotta play the game, and then we're gonna watch the TV show and get to enjoy it and compare and contrast. So right now I'm playing The Last of Us Part 2 just to get back into the PlayStation, and man, I missed this system. Now I know everybody gets tired of the over-the-shoulder perspectives and everything with Sony exclusives lately, God of War, Uncharted was that way, but Uncharted is like my child. Uncharted 1 through 4, incredible games, seminal games, very important games for me to just as growing up, the characters, I loved and adored that franchise. And I think The Last of Us Part 1 is genuinely like a incredible showcase of a game where they just flipped the whole zombie script on its head. I think the story's wonderful. It's a game that I really don't think needed a sequel, but so far, even knowing quite a bit of key moments of The Last of Us Part 2, I'm really enjoying my time playing this game, and I feel like I'm a fraud. And I'm going to say it, I'm a fraud. I will never fall to the online, hype cycle or rage bait or whatever. And unfortunately, The Last of Us 2 Part 2 got me in that case. So I'm rewriting all my wrongs. I'm playing this game and I'm having a really good time 3 hours into it. And I know it's a decently length game, but anyway, PlayStation. I want to play more PlayStation, and I am playing more PlayStation. I do plan on picking up Astrobot, especially before the end of the year. I think I'm going to sign up for PlayStation Plus just to get my hands on more PlayStation. I really haven't played my Xbox in a couple months because I have a full-blown PC. And this was my argument originally during the PS4 era, but I flip-flopped and, I really fell back in love with my PC. Halfway through last generation as well. I was a completely different person for like 3 parts of that generation in terms of what I was playing and what I was able to get halfway through the generation and what I was able to accomplish and acquire. So I have all my eggs in multiple baskets, but I want to stay in each ecosystem. So I'm just trying to figure out how that's going right now. But as of late, I've been playing PlayStation 5, and this is wonderful. PlayStation Plus, you have the classics catalog. You have a bunch of games that I can actually dive into. Ratchet and Clank, which is also on PC, but I'm able to play it for a cheap subscription price and not need to outright purchase this game. I have played Spider-Man, 1 so many times. I've played in Platinum Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales, and all that is great, but these other exclusives I really would like to dive into. I miss PlayStation. I miss its exclusives. I miss its characters. I miss the square X circle triangle. I miss all of that. When I think about PlayStation, I think about my childhood, and I think about a lot of really great memories, and whether it was from middle school or high school playing with friends I had at the time, or just going to GameStop and picking up those games and always building my collection. There's something about PlayStation that none other of these other video game companies can really compare to. I love PlayStation, and I'm really excited to give it another go, and I'm looking forward to seeing where PlayStation takes me. They did announce recently, just the other day, a 30th anniversary edition of the PlayStation 5. I have the launch PlayStation 5. I personally think the PlayStation 5 is one of the ugliest video game systems that I've ever owned, and I think just period, I don't like how the console looks. It's very ugly, but I was interested in the Slim when it was announced a couple years ago, so I may be trying to get the 30th anniversary PlayStation 5 Slim, and there is a Pro as well. Now, the Pro is fully crazy priced. It's like $700 or $800, and with the 30th anniversary version, it's probably going to be even more. There is a cool 30th anniversary DualSense, which I would like to get, but I just don't like this controller, really. I'm not crazy about it. I don't know what it is, but I would love to get maybe the Slim 30th anniversary if I can get it and it's reasonably priced. But I'm going to try playing more PlayStation. And whether that be an exclusive that I pick up right when it comes out or just play it more, it's been a Fortnite machine, especially getting this. I haven't played Fortnite really on my PC lately. I haven't played Fortnite really at all on my Xbox lately, and I just miss the PlayStation system, the ecosystem, and PS5 is doing something quite nice for me lately. I really am enjoying my time playing the PS5, and I want to see how far this goes, how this works out, and I'll probably make a follow-up video probably towards the end of the year just talking about my time playing on the PS5 again. So that is it. This is a really weird video. It's just been something that I've been really thinking about. I want to make more videos. I have ideas. I'm just stuck in a weird space where I'm trying to evolve my videos in a certain way, but I haven't quite figured it out yet, and it's really hard to articulate in a video. I've tried making 2 or 3 videos now talking about this, but I think I'm just going to do it, and then when we figure it out, we figure it out. But until then, as always, my name is Brandon, and I will see you all next time.